Gentlemen, we give you the future of law enforcement. This advertisement has been brought to you by Omni Consumer Products, OCP. Cheap junk. Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here, and we're taking a look at another figure from, well, this is actually our first figure from the Age of the Primes line. This is Red Alert. This version of Red Alert is based on his appearance in Transformers Armada, which we've been getting a lot of those lately. This Red Alert, like the Generation 1 version, is a warrior. But this one's a little more battle-hardened and less desirable of wanting to be a fighter, due to the fact that, as you can see here, he has a special weapon attachment onto his left hand. He lost his hand in battle. So this definitely makes him a rather interesting looking figure, to say the least. Plus, of course, to go along with it, he also has hidden storage in his legs. Hence Larry doing the RoboCop joke there at the beginning. But there are spots inside of his legs to hold some of the extra accessories. Plus, we also have a special hidden cannon that can be retracted away. About the only thing that he's missing from his original toy is his Minicon partner, Long Arm, which was a popular name back in the days of Hasbro. So it's been used numerous times in Transformer media. But it also was a name for a character in G.I. Joe, and probably more prominently from their forgotten toy line of Cops. Now let's first take a look at some of his accessories. He has two different hand attachments. This one is the first one, and it is a tri-barreled gun. Done up in this nice translucent plastic. Then we'll come around here, pop the other one free. We have this larger single-barreled weapon. And then lastly, we have this little claw-like apparatus that they have us put there inside the cannon. The wiki refers to this as a hand missile. Now, it's probably a claw missile. One of these, this one here is referred to as the hand missile. And then the other one is labeled as a triple-barreled blaster. So I was right on that one, at least. So then now we'll take a look at Red Alert's articulation. His head can be turned from side to side. And it is on a ball joint, so it will look up and down a bit. When you check out the way the helmet is on, the way his head is done up, it does almost look like RoboCop. You know, we got the red visor, and we got a visible mouth. That was probably the inspiration for it. His arms can be raised out to the side, about so far. And the arms do rotate at the shoulder all the way. You can bend his arm at the elbow 90 degrees in a double joint, so that's always nice. You know, it's always nice when you can get a toy that has double jointed elbows. He also has a swivel at the bicep. So he has G.I. Joe battle grip. And even the wrist has articulation. You can turn his hand at the wrist. He can be twisted at his hips somewhat. The back kibble kind of interferes with his ability to do some dance moves. You can spread his legs apart only so far. The way the thighs are designed, it doesn't allow for much more. You do have an excellent thigh cut. You can raise his leg at the hip 90 degrees, and you can bend him at the knee 90 degrees. In fact, he's got double jointed knees. So, while there's some restrictions to his articulation, the added articulation does make up for it a bit. One other thing of note is that we should also point out that the cannon that mounts on his shoulder, it is removable as well. So we don't want to leave anybody hanging by not telling you that. In maybe 20 years when somebody sees this video and decides this was a great way to learn how to make sure your toys were complete. Alright, to transform him, we're going to start by first showing off that you can store his accessories in here in the backs of his thighs. And since this is the only time you will be able to access them, you should do it now. It's just a matter of lining it up and pressing it inside. When they're willing to work with you. Once you get it pressed in there, and if it's in, if you got it in good and far enough, then you won't have to worry about it falling out. And it also makes a great way to store them. The hand missile is the biggest pain. There we go. You've got to put it in sideways so the fins protrude outward. And we don't have a spot for the claw missile yet, but that's coming. That will come later on in the transformation. Alright, first thing we do is we take that cannon, fold it back into his back so it's out of our way. And then we come here, we'll shift his head out of the way so we can raise this chest panel. Reach inside here and fold out this other piece, and then we'll fold his head inside, and then we close this piece on top of it. We come down here, we straighten his arms out, and then you're going to turn them at the bicep so that they point inwards. And then raise the arm up. There's a slight groove. There's the groove here where the shoulder joint is, and it will line up with a post on the doors. So then once you've done that, this is where the double jointed elbows come into play. You will bend his arms at both elbow joints to fold them inward. Like that. And once you've done that, turn the shoulders so it has the doors facing upward. And we're going to come down here to his feet and you fold in the heels. And then you'll fold the feet up at the ankle. Then we'll turn him over, and you'll fold the feet up from the other ankle joint so that they come inside. And now we'll take this back piece, raise it up. We'll open up the back door here, and then this open cavity up here is where the claw missile will go. There's a little gap in the claw just above the post, right about dead center of it, where it will clamp in just like that. So you get that in there so it's in storage. Well, in reality, I mean, they show it can go anywhere, but it should fit in sideways like that, so it has the post locked in. And of course, once you've done that, we straighten it out so that we can bring the doors in to completely form the cab of the truck. And then fold the legs up at the hip so that everything connects together at the sides. Let go there. There we go. That connected at the sides, and then bring the door back, bring the top and the back down, and then it will seal up. And then there you have Red Alert as an emergency vehicle. And of course, once again, it is like previous released Ratchets are using the Autobot medical insignia instead of the Red Cross, since that is a very highly trademarked insignia, and they do get rather upset over its use. How well does it roll on these plastic wheels? Doesn't roll too bad. This little desk table isn't the best for rolling it on, but it does roll pretty good. So now we get down to my thoughts. What do I think of Red Alert? I find this one to be a very interesting take on the character, to be honest. It is something unique and stylized, and I do like the look. I like the backstory on the character, so I do find it rather interesting. The toy here, I kind of like it. I do rather like it. I can't deny that. I mean, the robot mode is pretty good. The vehicle mode's rather nice. The bonus is the fact that it can hold all of the loose accessories. That's always a bonus. And in this case, it doesn't even have to have them out to be used as weapons. It's nice to just have them stored. So all in all, this is definitely a good toy for one's collection. And that concludes my review of the Age of the Primes version of Armada Red Alert. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please do remember that if you love the content we feature on this channel, I would appreciate a like, share, comment, and subscribe. This is Sparkster1701 saying I will catch you all later.